MBBs will probably block me after I share this with you. But let me share this with you anyways. Now, here's the reality. You don't need to grind through endless case books to ace your interviews. These 6 techniques that I'm going to be sharing with you will cut your prep time by 90%, and it works at every single firm, every single time. Now, everyone thinks case mastery requires months of grinding, and I'm about to prove them wrong. These 6 techniques that I'm going to share with you, they work at McKinsey, BCG, Bain, but they also work at every single other consulting firm. And they'll transform difficult cases into straightforward conversations. So, are you ready to make your interviews dramatically easier? Let's dive in. Technique number 1. The only 3 case question patterns you will need. Now, every case falls into 3 patterns. Pattern 1 is your decision cases. Should we launch this new product? Should you acquire this target company? So here, first you need to define the criteria that needs to be true for the client to go ahead. Then you outline an analysis to test if this criteria is met. Pattern 2, diagnostic cases. Why are sales declining? What's causing delivery delays? So here, first break down the metric. Compare and find the problem driver. Second, you uncover the root cause by asking targeted how and why questions. And third, outline measures to fix it. Pattern 3 is your brainstorming cases or idea generation cases. How can we grow? How can we improve customer retention? Here, what you do is you first break down the metric into drivers and sub-drivers, and then generate ideas that will influence the sub-drivers in the right direction. And after that, prioritize initiatives by impact size and feasibility to implement. So master these 3 case patterns and you can handle any case question with ease. Technique number 2, the X, non-X framework. Do you want perfect messy breakdowns when you disaggregate your brainstorming question? Here's the secret. Use X, non-X, or use opposing pairs. Pick any dimension and create its opposite. Quantitative versus qualitative. Direct versus indirect. Immediate versus delayed. Revenue versus cost. All you have to do is find opposing pairs. You can even stack 2 pairs together to form perfectly messy buckets. For example, I could say immediate revenue impact, delayed revenue impact. Immediate cost impact, delayed cost impact. So in an instant, I have comprehensive buckets with 0 overlap. So I've disaggregated this brainstorming question into 4 key drivers, and now I can start generating ideas. Technique number 3, math without mistakes. Stop counting zeros. That's where candidates make mistakes. So instead of 6,000 times 50,000, say 6K times 50K. Remember 3 rules when you're calculating. K times K equals M. So that's 1,000 times 1,000 equals million. M times K equals B. So million times 1,000 equals billion. M times M equals T. So that's million times million equals a trillion. So in our example, 6K times 50K becomes 6 times 50, which is equal to 300, and then K times K equals M, so it is 300 million. 0 counting eliminated, your accuracy improves dramatically. Technique number 4, always propose next steps. So after every answer, add, therefore I'd like to explore. For example, you could say something like, given margins are healthy, I'd examine volume drivers next. Let me give you another example. Since costs are stable, issue must be on the revenue side. Another example, With markets growing, let's investigate a competitive position. If you take a wrong direction, the interviewer will correct you. He will give you the right information and right guidance. If you've already taken the right direction, you look brilliant. You win every time because that's how a consultant thinks. That's how a consultant navigates a client problem, by identifying the next area of prioritization and then pivoting or continuing. Technique number 5, strategic silence. This simplest technique is something a lot of candidates miss. They hesitate from asking for thinking time. As simple as, let me take 10 seconds to organize my thoughts. A lot of them use thinking time for framework creation, but thinking time can be used for many other instances in the case interview navigation. For example, when you're doing a quantitative analysis, when you're brainstorming, when you're giving your final recommendation. That 10 seconds of thinking time beats 5 minutes of rambling, automatically positions you as a top 1% candidate. Technique number 6, the soft hypothesis. Extract answers from the interviewer without asking directly. So instead of saying, I don't know, say, with the current information or with the current analysis that we have conducted, my initial thought is the issue might stem from supply chain disruption, particularly in the Asian markets. Should I investigate supplier performance data? Now, if you're right, if this is where the interviewer wants you to go, you will sound quite insightful. If that's not the right direction where the interviewer wants you to go, he will give you where to focus on. Either way, no penalty. The interviewer literally gives you the answer. While thinking, they're testing you. That's the power of synthesis. That's the power of hypothesis-driven logic, because you have a hypothesis and you have a rationale as to why you have to go there. There are no correct and wrong hypotheses. There is always a hypothesis that needs to be tested, and based on that, you either pivot or you go ahead. 6 techniques, each saves hours of prep. These techniques will transform your entire case preparation approach. So, which technique will you try first? Comment below, and I love reading comments. Share this with someone preparing for case interviews, and subscribe for more insider strategies.